everyone, welcome to Big Talk. This is the first episode of this adventure that I decided to take, and I hope it will be successful. Today, we're kicking off with the first episode of this journey, and we are talking about the first steps in 1,000 miles. To dig deeper, I'm delighted to be joined with Sofiya El Ouardy, who has motivating stories that can be of use to many individuals, especially new grads and professionals who are looking for a job during these difficult times.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
I'm honored to have you here in this show. And as I said, you are the first guest in my adventure, if I may say. And I'm happy to have you. I know that you have wonderful stories to share with many individuals who can motivate people and share some knowledge and awareness that can help a lot of people, from graduation to internship to freelancing, and then landing a job in few weeks in the most craziest time. First of all, if you can tell us something about yourself and just small introduction, that would be more than perfect.
Hi, Zama. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Okay. My name's Sophia. Right now, I am a junior marketing assistant at Gemography. I just graduated the National Business School of Tangier, majoring in international business and trade. And I am very passionate about marketing and especially digital marketing and growth.
Perfect. Thank you, Sophia. As I said, this topic or this conversation is made of three topics. We will discuss the internship. I can see in your LinkedIn that you have made several internships. How did the internship affected you or helped you to develop the skills?
I think in class, we are always used to knowing what we're going to do next and having homework or assignments or tests coming. Or I think the hardest part and what I was surprised to find out when I was in an internship, almost working, was that finding what to do is part of the job. You don't have just everything laid out before you. You have to work hard to know what to do and then do it.
So, if we may say, the internship it prepares you to real life world or when you land a job. After you graduated, have you done any internship after the graduation?
After graduation, not really.
No, okay.
I applied for some, but I ended up going a different path. That's when I actually started freelance.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and that was a whole other experience on itself. Sorry, what?
Okay. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah. So freelance is doing gigs or small projects with either contracts or just on marketplaces like Fiverr or Upwork, for example. I started with Fiverr. It was a pretty fulfilling experience. It's easy to grow when you're doing something you love. I started with writing content, creating content, articles, essays, blog posts, whatever. And I wrote about a variety of things. I wrote about psychology, child psychology, marketing, finance, real estate. It was everything. So it was kind of fun. It was like opening Wikipedia and reading about stuff that I do all the time. And this time I was doing it and getting paid at the same time. So it was a win-win. Yeah.
So I know that freelancing is somehow popular within many people or millions of people around the world. But also we see another half or another millions of people that they rather do nothing than go into freelance. Why do you think that happened? Like, why people are not really going for freelance while they're doing nothing? Just sitting sitting at home and just applying for a job, and they're not getting the job. So they don't have a source of income. They are not developing the skills, because the more you practice, the more you know. The more you practice, the more you develop new skills, and you create better understanding. Why do you think there are still some youngsters that they are not going for freelance?
I think they don't realize the potential they have. I mean, I have been there myself, and we don't really realize that we can make income out of something that we already know how to do. Even after documenting my journey on social media and talking about it to my classmates and uh, college friends and clubs and whatever, I had people saying, like sending me private messages like, do you think I can do it? And I'm like, yes, you talk French, you talk English, you can write well in French, you can write well in English, why not write articles, you know? And they would still ask me, well, maybe I just need, I'm going to take 2 or 3 months and perfect my English and then write. And I'm like, your English is perfect right now, you can just go ahead and start. And you know, it's usually the breaks we are doing, we are exerting them ourselves on ourselves. Well, there's also one thing. What I had say on my profile, for example, is I write articles, but I've also had people come to me and be like, "Can you do a pitch deck?" And I didn't know what a pitch deck was, and I would go on Google, look for it, see if it's something I can do, and then I'd go back and say, yeah, sure, and and I'd just do it. Or something even sometimes more technical. This one time I had a client ask me about spin text. On their same website, they have, for example, an article that they wrote, and they have to write it in other words.
Okay.
So that for Google, it's a lot of articles, but for someone who's reading it, it's the same meaning.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you'd have to write the same article in many, many, many ways, using different words, but keeping the same meaning. And
Yeah.
doing that is integrated with a small, well, let's say programming language, but just HTML.
Okay.
Really, it's really simple, but with all the symbols and everything, if they had sent me that a year before, I would be like, no way, I can't do this. I can't even understand what this is. And that time I went on Google, I looked for spin text, and I tried to figure it out, and I did, and they loved it. And I think it was my biggest order so
Okay.
far. Yeah.
What was the income, if we can give a rough idea to people who are listening, like how much they can get from freelancing every month, if you can say?
Every month from freelance, it depends on how many hours you're willing to work. If you work full time, like 8 to 9 hours a day, you can get up to, let's say, $1,000 a month. If you can put in 2 or 3 hours every week or on the weekend, and you'd still get around $200, $300 just for fun. It's
Good.
it's a lot of potential, and you know, it's just there. You have to take it.
So, Sophia, can you tell us how did you find a job in the craziest time for the world's economy? We know that COVID-19 has impacted many economies across the globe, and people started losing jobs and not getting hired. So, how did you find a job in this difficult time?
And freelance helped me a great deal understand that I was worth something. I think if I hadn't gone through freelance, I would have been sitting around uh, home and just waiting for the perfect opportunity to fall into my lap, when of course it's not going to. It's not going to happen if you don't look for it. And I mean, I spent maybe 2 3 months looking, applying to dozens of job offers, and passing. I passed maybe a dozen interview in total, with 3 to 4 final rounds, and then final two companies that I said yes to, that they said yes to me, and I was able to choose between the two, the one that fit me the most to my personality and culture in general. So I don't think it was hard. It wasn't easy at all. And you know, passing interviews, getting no's, and sometimes not getting replies for email reaches and applications. It's a very common thing in Morocco. If you remember, when you apply to companies, you always almost never get an answer back.
Yeah.
even if they have a job offer posted, very rare are those companies that actually answer with
Not even a confirmation email that they have received your CV. So you
exactly.
don't know even that your CV went through or not.
There's
That's
not even the
floating rates, yeah.
automatic.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
automatic reply.
you just send out emails and you just pray for the you hope for the best. It's there's no guarantee that you're getting anything. And yeah, that was looking for a job.
Uh, for a person who's looking for a job, let's say a new grad or a professional who's looking for a job at this time,
Mm.
what will be your advice? How do you think they can find a job? What they should take into account or into consideration in order to find a job?
Mm. Okay, so you have to be able to know what you can do at that moment in time and what you want to do. Because when you apply for a company, you bring in them something on the table, like this is what I can do right now from the start. And this is what I would like to do also in the future. And that way you can see if you are compatible with the job that you're applying for. Another thing that's very important is the company's culture. It's very, very underrated. Um, that we usually in Morocco, it's very rare to have that kind of targeted culture that you're looking for in a company. You just apply for everything, and it's good to land a lot of interviews, but also you could find yourself in a company that doesn't really work for you or you don't work for them. Um, so know what you want and look for it really hard. I mean, we have the internet. It's a miracle, honestly. You have access to every person, every opportunity, every job offer in the world. It would be kind of not very good for you to only look locally and apply with, say, physical resumes in big companies or so.
That's perfect. What's your idea about people who keep applying for any job that they find online? For example, for sales, for customer service, for contact center, for marketing, for HR. Is that a good tactic or not?
Okay, so I did that too,
Okay.
and it can work. It can work. But the thing is, you have to have that when applying. You have to consider quantity and quality.
Yeah.
You can work on quantity and just send hundreds of applications. You're definitely going to land a few job interviews and then land a few jobs. And you also, in parallel, do the both. Um, in parallel to that, you can also look for two, maybe three companies that you absolutely would love working for, and prepare a very specific application for each, um, a special resume for each, not just a one size fits all. And there's a 90% chance that they're going to contact you if they see that your resume really stands out.
I can see that you've been active in LinkedIn. Do you think LinkedIn is a way to find a job?
Definitely. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
how
in Morocco,
I.
it is made for jobs, but for example, in Morocco, do you think people are shifting from traditional ways of receiving CVs through emails or physical CVs to LinkedIn?
Definitely. The thing is, with LinkedIn, it's not just a job finder, it's a people finder. You find
Okay.
people and you connect with real people with real stories and real lives. And um, if you're lucky enough, you can connect with someone who has your next big opportunity. And that's how it works. Yeah, so I would say networking is pretty important on LinkedIn. It's not just applying for jobs. You have to go into LinkedIn thinking, I'm going to make meaningful connections with people who are passionate about the same things as me, and not just, I need a job, I'm going on LinkedIn to find a job. That's not really the mindset that's going to get you
Good
where
job.
you want to go.
So, is there any hacks or any tricks that person should consider while using LinkedIn?
Yeah, of course. I've compiled a few to not forget, so I wrote them down.
Okay.
Um, So first of all, your posts don't have to be too long because people won't
Okay.
read them. If they are long, they have to be very spacey. So maybe 2 lines and then a lot of space, and 2 lines, a lot of space. And
Okay.
yeah, another thing that's very cool about LinkedIn is there's a lot of organic reach. So it's not only the people in your network that are going to see your posts. Every time someone from your network likes or comments on a post of yours, people on their network are going to see it too. And that's how you can grow on LinkedIn. Um, Another thing is hashtags are still pretty cool
Effective.
on LinkedIn. They actually work. 2 to 3 hashtags are enough, and it's really easy to go trending on LinkedIn. I don't know for the audience if you've ever went trending on LinkedIn, you receive a little notification
That your post
saying,
is trending. Yeah.
yeah, your post is trending on the hashtag this.
Yeah.
And so your post has to be relevant to that hashtag and bring actual value to the audience that you're targeting. Um, Another thing that the LinkedIn algorithm takes into account is the first hour that you post something, how much engagement it gets. If you get a lot of likes in the first hour, LinkedIn is going to evaluate your post as very valuable to the audience, and so they're going to show it to more people.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you have a certain network on LinkedIn, you kind of have an idea on when to post something. For example, uh, for me, I found that Monday morning works really good because people are getting into the professional world on Monday morning and looking for motivational quotes and to start the week. After they get those 2 to 3 hours of work done that's been waiting for them over the weekend, they kind of hop on LinkedIn for 5 or 10 minutes and they're
Okay.
going to find your post and you're going to get more likes if you post then. On Friday afternoon, also, there's a lot of activity on LinkedIn. So it's kind of finding these small windows that let you get a lot of interactions in the first hour of posting. What else? Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you are a freelancer, which I was, I used to have my services on my profile in LinkedIn. There's an option on your profile that you can provide services. And if people, for example, I was a content writer, if people would go on the search bar of LinkedIn and look for content writer articles, blog posts, or whatever, my profile would pop up because it was very clear that I was doing that at the moment. So I think if you are providing services, make that very, very clear on LinkedIn. Also, if you are, say, a graduate from a school and you haven't found a job yet, be very specific on your profile on what you're looking for, because the employers are not going to go on your profile and spend an hour guessing what does this person want to do. They have to be able to just look at your profile for 1 second and know exactly if you're fitting for them.
I know that the process of looking for a job is hectic. There are several challenges, issues, and also there will be fun stories. Have you ever encountered any funny stories or any challenges during your job search?
Absolutely. It's been a wild ride, honestly.
Mm.
Like I said, I was maybe applying for 2, 3 months for different job offers, and there were some fun stories along the way. For example, this one time I had applied for a company. I think it was on LinkedIn because there's the easy apply option when
Yeah.
your resume is already on LinkedIn and you just click and you apply. And so I had applied and forgotten about it. And then one time I'm making breakfast and I get a call and it's like, hello, is this Sofiya El Ouardy? And I was like, yeah. And it was an HR manager. She said, I'm the HR manager from said company. And I didn't even hear the name of the company well at that time. And she said, well, we have an interview scheduled for you with the CEO tomorrow. Will you be free? I said, yes, sure. And she hung up. And I had no idea what company I was going to talk to the other morning with the CEO. Like, I completely forgot about what I had applied for. And the next morning also, the CEO is going to evaluate my English, let's say. And we started the call in French, talking about marketing and my academic courses and everything. And at one point, he was talking in English, and he switched to he was talking in French, sorry, and he switched to English mid-sentence, and my brain was still wired on French, and he was already talking English, and my brain was hearing French, but not really. And I was like, huh, what? Huh? And he started laughing. I think he thought I couldn't talk English, even though my resume said I did. And I catched up pretty quickly, and it became a really funny moment. So, things happen, and you kind of get through them. Okay, so another story that happened, I think, with this same company. For the next round of interviews, I was going on an interview with, I think, 2 CTOs and 1 CEO, all in one call, and I had to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. And while I was presenting, I forgot to take my breath because I think it was my first interview or second. And I was just talking and I forgot to take my breath, and my anxiety got the better of me, and my voice cracked mid presentation, and I couldn't get it back to normal. So I was there talking to 3 CEOs with my voice cracked and presenting something that I was just so freaked out about how I was talking that I wasn't thinking about what I was saying. And funny part is they still liked it, and I still got an offer from that.
That's good.
So I think sometimes we are too harsh on judging ourselves when other people's might not even notice something. So yeah.
So you believe that you will not be getting the job and you got it at the end?
Yeah, I was. When I finished with them, they said, "Okay, well, all right, we're going to call you back," and I thought I was never going to get that call back.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Is there another story?
Company I'm working for right now. I was doing the first round of interviews with my current manager. God bless her. And on the second interview, my internet broke down mid-interview, and I kept just hanging up and going back to the call, and I was freaking out, and I was like, I'm so sorry, this never happened. It never happens. It always happens when you have something important. I don't know why. And yeah, and she was so understanding and patient about it. And she made me feel very comfortable that it was just normal. This is interviewing in 2020. It's just how it works. You're all the time like, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Oh, you're back. Oh, okay. So that's how it went. And then after that, there was a call, the final interview scheduled with the CEO of the company. And I thought that it was going to be a phone call like the ones before. And right before hopping on the call, I threw on like the closest white shirt I had, and my hair was kind of messy in a bun. I wasn't expecting a video conference at all. And lo and behold, I opened the call and it's a video conference. And I'm like, oh my God, my shirt is wrinkly. They're going to say I have to smooth it out. I was talking to them and just, smoothing out my shirt. But the thing is, they were so very understanding, and I don't know, when you talk to someone and it just clicks, that's how you know that's the best place for you. And
so
yeah,
you
it worked
understand
out
that the culture.
fine.
So they give you the signal
Exactly.
that the culture is good.
Exactly. It wasn't like a suit and tie thing, but it still was very professional, but
Okay.
not like there was a lot of it was very lighthearted.
Sophia,
Um,
if I
yeah.
ask you, what would be your advice to new grads or to the people who are looking for job at this moment, who are constantly applying for job, but they are not finding job. They are not successful. So what alternatives they have, or what options they have?
Definitely work on your skills, know what you like to do, and work on that. There's also a lot of tools you can use. You can do internships or start freelance, doing gigs, learning new skills. And that way, when you apply to a certain company, you actually have something to offer. It's not just um, academic theory that you have a grounded start that's really professional. um, so I think that really helps with having some kind of experience to talk about. Even so, for people who are majoring in marketing, for example, you don't have to even have an internship or do freelance. You can just go on Instagram or LinkedIn, create a profile, and grow the network, gain followers, post helpful things. And when you apply to a job, you can be like, well, look what I did. I have an Instagram page that has 10,000 followers. I can do this for you. And of course, they're going to be impressed. There's no way they're going to say no thanks, you know? So just know what you can bring to the company you're applying for, and you've won.
Perfect. All right, Sophia, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank you
sure
for
that the
having me.
audience who will be listening to this discussion, I hope they will find some beneficial points, and I'm sure there are. They just need to push, they need to fight, they need to have confidence, and they should have multi goals. If not job right away, they should search for internships. They should look for freelancing, not to just sit at home doing nothing. So they will lose their skills, they will lose the touch, and they will not be developing themselves. I must thank you for that, and must thank you for the time and for all the points that you have raised.
Thank you for having me on the podcast. It was
Thank
fun
you.
chatting with you.
Thank you.